me and assures me that he has my back when my safety is physically threatened. For reasons that I'll never understand. Guys, I've survived kidnappings, I've survived guns, I've survived, I've freaking survived. And it's all God. I've accomplished so much. I've established myself way beyond what my background allows me. I'm a beautiful human being. I'm a beautiful, beautiful human being with a beautiful life. And I always say to my friends that grace does not come through only when we say we have sinned or we are sinners. Grace comes through when the facts of our lives and the reality of our lives does not allow us to be what we are or to have what we have. Factually, doesn't make sense that I'm this person in this place, right here, doing what I do, achieving what I achieve, with excellence even. It doesn't make sense that I'm breathing in this moment after so much. It doesn't make sense that I'm sane mentally, that I'm healthy mentally. It doesn't. But it's a story that I'll definitely continue to unfold and continue to tell without any fear, because I'm protected and I'm guarded. Guys, y'all don't get it. Like, I've survived. I feel like I look weird. Okay. I feel like I'm just going to shower. Okay, I think that's better. Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm also good. I'm struggling a bit with my light. I'm not sure exactly how to place it because I feel like it looks very weird. Okay, I think we're just gonna have to work with that. But anyway, hi guys, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm pretty tired and my voice is a bit, yeah, you can hear for yourselves. So today is Sunday and we had a workshop, something stewards at my church, and yeah, I went there and then yeah, I did a few other things. I've had makeup I've had makeup since 8 a.m. It's almost 10-ish p.m. So my makeup is a bit now oily and yeah, but anyway, we are here. So thank you everybody who subscribed, who has liked, everybody who's just journeyed along with me on this journey. It's been a beautiful journey for myself, sharing this part of me, and yeah man, just inviting you guys to just walk with me and journey with me in this particular journey, yeah. So today is going to be the last episode of this series. Sorry, like my sock just slipped off, I don't know why. But today is going to be the last episode for this particular series, A Journey Back to Confidence. And my voice is doing the most. But for me, it was quite important to share this journey because it saddened me and it broke my heart so much how a lot of us are born with, like, everyone is born with this pure confidence before family happens, before, just the world happens, before relationships happen, before, yeah, a lot of things just happen. A lot of us are born with this pure confidence, and as kids we believe we can do anything. Kids aren't bothered, bro. Kids just do, they just be, and they don't worry too much, and they don't really have a lot of insecurities. And as we grow, all of these things happening then chip away at our confidence so much that when we get to ages where we are now trying to establish ourselves and now trying to find a purpose, trying to fulfill purpose, we are only shells of ourselves. We're only shells of what we're created to be. And we just, magwangwa, we're just shells of what we really are, what we truly are. And me saying that self-confidence is a fruit of confidence is saying that we always have a hope of resilience, and we always have, whatever happens in our lives, we always have that hope of resilience, and to just bounce back, to go back to what we truly are, our purest form. So if you journeyed with me throughout the journey from the beginning, I really hope that it has watered or planted something in you that will be beneficial for your purpose and beneficial for where you want to go in life or who you perceive yourself to be. Yeah, and if you haven't, I hope you can, go back and just from the first video just watch. But anyway, today I didn't script this whole thing. I didn't plan this conversation because it's quite a lot for me, and I didn't want to, because like when you write something or when you speak about something, you are reliving the emotions and whatnot and everything. So the reason why I didn't script it is because really I didn't want to feel that like twice, like when I'm writing, editing, whatnot. No, I was like, I'll just, just speak. And I hope I'm able to do that, and I'm able to fulfill the purpose of this particular video. Yeah, I mentioned that this is the last episode. Yeah. So yeah, going forward, if there's other things that I want to share or talk about, I'll definitely do that. I really appreciate the love, and I appreciate knowing that there's actually people who watch these things. So I'm not just doing things to talk to myself. Yep. So today I'm just gonna be sharing how growing up in a hostile and in a house that has a lot of domestic violence has affected me. So it's a very, very long story that is still continuing, and it's layered, and it's a story that I feel like I'll have to tell in parts my entire life, because I can never just tell that whole story in one video or in one day or in one sitting. It's a very long story, but today I just want to highlight parts of that story that affected my confidence. So short story, like just an overview. I have a mother and a father. Why am I saying I had a mother, father make me, and then, well, they met when I wasn't there, and they had me, whatnot, yada, blah, 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 blah. There was a lot of physical violence, right? My father would beat up my mother. And sometimes I felt like I had to, I was the first child. I knew that there's something, it shouldn't happen, because I remember it from very early stages of my life. Like, yeah, there was a lot of physical violence. He would literally beat her up horribly. And my mother kept so silent for a very long time. And there was a lot of emotional abuse. There was a lot of, yeah, just abuse in all its forms. Well, in most of its forms. financial abuse, all of those things. And then, yeah, just that. And then I grew up. So growing, sometimes they would give each other silent treatment, right? Maybe that for 2 weeks they're not talking to each other. So I'm the messenger. He says whatnot, she says whatnot, all of that. And well, I'm the firstborn, right? So, but however, now they are separated. Like every one of them is living their own lives. My father apparently has remarried and has a child. My mom we stay with my mom and all of that, right? Which I'm really grateful for, because like you told each other you loved each other and you dated and did all of that, and because it really didn't. I've never seen my mom be loved, and I've never seen my father love. Because I'm like, why even together, guys? Like, you really felt it's best you guys come together and be an item and be a thing and make kids, and like, I've never seen them love on each other. Never ever. So, however, when I was, well, the separation thing, I think my mom filed for divorce when I was in grade 10, somewhere along the lines. That was 6 years ago, I think. But hey, thing is still running even up to this day. But anyway, it's a story for another day. It's still not finalized after 6 years. Imagine 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 years, 6 years. So this one thing. So my mother is silent this whole time, with the abuse happening, with the being beaten up, with the whatnot. Mugeli is quiet, right? And for the most part, I had to mother my mother, you see. So Mugele is quiet the entire time. And one day, I was in grade 9. I had just, so Mugai indaba yakhe nje ayihlangani. I don't like, he's a lot. He's an abundance. He's yeah. He's toxic. He's quite a lot. And I'm grateful that I get to live a life that he is not a part of. So anyway, one day in grade 9, I was in grade 9, I think it was May, the 14th of May or somewhere along the lines. We had a good day. We came back from grocery shopping, whatnot. Hey, I'm not gonna say the story, but basically there was an argument. And then next thing, my mom has a baby on the back. She's crying, she's talking. I had never had my mother talk back or speak back. Like, he would say a lot of nonsense, but she wouldn't talk back. That day she was like, I am tired. If like, do what you must. If you want to kill me, do that. If you want to hit me, do that. But today I'm not having it. And I was scared for my life, because I have never heard this woman speak. And he got very furious, because she is talking back. I'm sure he was like, oh, it has a mouth, it speaks, and I feel like that hit him by surprise. So it was a thing of, guys, ready when I'm only fasting, I really, like, my energy is so low. It's because really I'm tired, and I really just want to I want to do this episode and just finish, because I've been procrastinating on doing this video, because it's such a draining thing to talk about. But anyway, that day, and I hope I'm making sense, guys. That day, Mugele, she spoke back. Mugai got so angry, and I remember him calling, I think he called his brother. It's like, whatever I do today, nobody should ask me. So thing about me is that, like, I would hear stories of, yeah, this man killed his wife and kids and then shot himself or whatnot, buried them. I knew that someday that could be me. That is how dangerous and that is how hostile that environment was, and how toxic that environment was. So that particular day, my guy's like, yeah, so I always imagined myself to be those children. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened to me, that he does something to us and my mom and does something to himself or whatnot, or flees or whatever. So, yeah, I was like, okay, today something might happen. And Miguel is like, bro, I'm not having it. Do what you must, do what you want to do today. And I'm literally begging my mother to keep quiet, to just keep her silence for our safety, for our lives, you know, because Mugai, guys, yeah, so that day, so my mom is cooking. She had a baby. My baby brother was like a year or so old. The baby's crying at her back. She's crying. She's cooking. It was a lot. Yo, it was a lot. And then she calls us to come eat. Then we sit at the table. It was my little brother. Well, the little brother was at the back. He was a baby. And my sister and myself. Mugai Uduji on the sofa. He is still talking. They are talking back, and really, it's bad. And then next thing he comes to us. So I couldn't take it, so I started crying and my little sister started crying. And then, okay, it's a lot. The story is a lot. Mm. Wow, guys. I even had makeup on. I didn't wipe it for this video because I really wanted to keep myself together. But she starts crying, and then I feel overwhelmed. I can't take this anymore. And then and at that moment, I'm literally begging my mom to keep quiet because I feared for our lives. And um, that was the last day they spoke to each other. Yeah, a lot happened. And next thing, my little sister is stopping him from harming her, all of that. And it's just a lot. And then he comes to us. He's like, why are we crying? Whatnot, and all of that, I remember running to the bathroom to wipe my face and just wash it. And then I come back and say, I'm not crying. Because it angered him. And I didn't want this video to be too long. But wow, it's a lot. Guys, I'm messing up my makeup. All right, let's pull each other together. Yes, so that happened, and from that affected me in such a way that I lost a voice. I felt like, so after that happened, he stopped talking to me and my mom, and they haven't spoken to each other since that day. So I lived in the same house with two parents. They didn't speak to each other. She moved out of the room, not even a good morning. Like they were used to it, of course. They would not talk to each other maybe for like a month or 3 months, living in the same house, like same house. Not even a good morning, not even a with the food. So it would always be, yeah, like that was it. I was living with, they were not even roommates because they didn't talk. So it was quite a weird situation to grow up in. So that happened grade 9, 10, 11, 12 for 4 years in the same roof, because first year is when a lot of drama happened, the police involved, whatnot, and then for a year we lived at like Mabodasi, where in town, those renting places, until my mom has now built a house for us and whatnot. So after that, my father didn't speak to me for a year. If I was going to school or I was coming back from school, he would pass me with the car. He wouldn't, like, zero, not even good morning, how are you, doing, whatnot. And his issue was that when what was happening happened, I cried. Like, that was the issue with him. Like, how twisted is that? So from that, I lost my confidence to feel and be allowed to feel. I mean, amongst a lot of many other instances, I'm just trying to highlight. Moments that affected me big time, and things that I'm trying to unlearn, and things that I'm, just getting over in this journey and dealing with. So from that, I felt like each time I spoke, or each time, I had never seen somebody so angry and I had never felt threatened in that way. The day he said he would do anything because my mother spoke out, and that was the first time I actually heard her speak back and talk back. I felt like if I showed emotion, be it in if I spoke out or if I showed emotion, my safety would be threatened. Not in a harming way, but if maybe we are in a relationship, be it a friendship, whatever, and something happens that doesn't sit well with me, or something I don't necessarily agree with, I wouldn't voice it out because I felt like my safety is threatened. So I lost a voice in that manner. That maybe I would lose people, or like what, in whichever way that it would backfire on me. So I lost a lot of um sorry. So oh my god, my makeup looks horrible. But it felt like I would it wasn't allowed, and it threatened me. Besides just emotion and showing emotion, having a voice. As I feel like I'm all over the place, but this is just how the story is. I hope you catch it, because I can't script it, and it's a lot for me. So I really feel like I'm all over the place. But it not even just in emotion, but even in just having a voice, I felt like just keeping silent was safer, be it in political spaces, in leadership, in my leadership roles, in academic spaces, and whatnot. I felt like speaking out was offensive to somebody in some way, and it was just a conditioning that for as long as I feel like maybe there's a conflict or there's a disagreement or whatnot, I would just not speak because I feel like I'm threatened. So Mugai doesn't speak to me for a whole year. That time, my mom was working for him. That time, she's unemployed. We don't really have much anymore in the fridge and whatnot. And then one day he comes back to me and he says, clear up the table, we need to talk. I clear up the table and we sit. He tells me how he feels like a naked father, a naked man living, like waltzing the streets when he doesn't talk even to his child, whatnot, yada, yada, yada. And I felt safe for the first time around him. I literally found myself crying because it sounded so sincere. It sounded like he meant it. Way. And then, yeah, he's like, no, don't panic. And he just embraces me and whatnot, whatnot. Then my mom comes back to tell me, I tell her, like, girl, this is actually what happened today. After a year, 365 days or more of not even saying whatnot. My friends, I remember this one time I was at the library and my friends were like, yo, your father, your father. And I felt so embarrassed because he doesn't talk to me. Like, how abusive is that? How toxic is that? I'm your child, bro. I said, my girlfriend, I'm not your wife. I'm your child, you know? And then, yeah, and then I just open up to him and I feel like I have a father, you know, I have a parent. And then my mom comes back, I tell her, she's like, oh yeah, apparently they had gone to maintenance court and she said, what the hell? He doesn't even speak to the oldest child and it was sort of like an obligation that he has to come back and talk to me. I was like, wow. You need somebody to tell you to talk to me. Like, and you just toy around with, like, you don't even care, bro. You don't. And you just come back and lie to me in that way and make it so sincere when if it wasn't a law somewhere that forced you, like, wow. So that day I regained and lost all the trust I had for him. And it became a wallet daddy situation, you know, like I didn't even care. I'm like, as long as I have your wallet. So, and really that affected me. I'm like, this guy doesn't even care. He doesn't even, he doesn't see me. He doesn't recognize me. And home, a space where even when the world doesn't see you, at least at home, my parents my mother, my father like these people who made me, at least, like, the world doesn't see me and he doesn't see me, you know, because like in teenage years, you're going through a lot, you know, all of these things, and you're just trying to find yourself and you're trying to, you know, break out. You're trying to just identify yourself, and you have an entire human being who has whose seed made you, and they don't want you, they don't care about you, they don't see you, you know, and they're not even a space where you can be insecure. At least they're not even a space that can embrace you and say that this is my child, I love you. If you don't feel loved anywhere else, that I love you at your home. I'm a safe space. There's no room for to be insecure. There's no room to feel protected and guarded when the world is so vile, when the world is so, like, it's a jungle out there and it's a jungle at your own home. You see? You're not safe around. You're not safe at home. You're not safe anyway. Like I never felt protected, you know, because yeah, I feel like you get what I'm trying to say. And that really took away from me. Yeah, so shame, for the most part, my mom was a wreck. And I feel like I, yeah, I feel like I just had to be more than I could be, or more than a child should be, you know. Hey, because at some point, ke nna o ka di-grocer tša ko ntlong, ke nna o I was the one buying groceries because he didn't want to give her the money and whatnot. And then now I remember, wow, I remember this one time a guy came back, or yo, I'm buying too much food, you're like eating too much. And he actually took a tissue and said, so all the anger and the frustration that he had, where they fell here, because he was like, yeah, you're like eating too much, you're like using too much tissue, hey, you'll eat like, I was like, why am I accountable for everybody's tummy in this house? I'm literally just a child and I'm out here strolling with groceries, trolleys and whatnot, and he's shouting at me and he's harassing me verbally. And I'm not even allowed to feel that, because it felt like felt like he had to validate what I'm feeling. And I've only realized now, as the years go by, oh, I actually don't need you to validate what I'm feeling, or I don't need you to validate I don't need your permission to feel what you're inflicting on me, you know. And he has that mentality. I don't need, bro, I really don't need, yeah, about this thing of not being, listen, we're now calling fathers bros, but I really don't need your permission. I don't need anybody's permission to feel what they're inflicting on me. For the mere fact that I feel like that, it's valid enough. It might not fall along the bell of what a lot of people, or the most of the population, would feel given the same circumstances, or whatever, how you yourself would feel. And I learned this, and it's something that has set me so much free. Or I really don't need your permission, and I don't need you to validate how I feel about your treatment, how I feel about what you say, or how I feel about what you're inflicting on me. It is not only hurt when you say it is hurt. It is not only painful when my pain is not validated, when you then now say that it's no. I don't need your permission. You don't, in fact, I don't need anybody's permission to feel what I feel. It's valid enough. Just by virtue of feeling it, it's valid and it's okay, you know. And it's these things that make me the person that I am. It's these things that make me rebel and allow myself to heal and go back to that confidence. I don't care if you're my father, I don't care if you're my aunt, I don't care if, bro, I really don't need your permission to feel what you're inflicting on me. And family be trash, hey? Because in the period where he wasn't talking to me, this uncle came up to me. He first sent his friends and his uncles on some, no, I should go and apologize. When he comes back, I must go and kneel during the Torosha and say I'm sorry. What the fuck am I sorry about? Like, what am I sorry for? I'm sorry for showing emotion. I'm sorry for being hurt, but by what? Like, what do you even mean? What do you even mean? You see, so much, like, and at that point, I'm only a child. I am conflicted, I'm confused. And he should be the one coming here to say, I'm sorry. He's the one who posed a danger to me. He's the one who's a threat in my life. Even up to this day, if something horrible happens to me, he's the first suspect. Because he is twisted. He is crazy. You know, and no child should feel like that because of umzali, because of a parent. You know. So that was I was like, what do you mean I should go and, what am I apologizing for? What, you know? Yeah, but anyway, I am learning to rebel, and I'm learning to be everything that my background doesn't allow me to be. I come from such an ugly place. I come from such an ugly place, a very horrible place. And that's a story I will tell. And me telling that story is also getting back my voice, saying, this is my story, I own it, and this is the way I feel, this is my version of the story, and I don't need nobody to validate it, you know. I don't need nobody to give me permission to own this story. So it's that thing, you know. And man, I really come from a horrible place, and even beautiful people like myself can come from ugly places. Even beautiful people with beautiful lives and beautiful hearts and beautiful minds and just overall beautiful human beings like myself can come from horrible places, and it's such a miracle, and it's such a God move that somebody like me with the life that I live today would come from such a place. It's all grace, and that I'm grateful for. That I now know that God has not given me a spirit of timidity, but of a courage. And I'll have that courage to speak out. I'll have that courage to know that I'm safe and I'm guarded and I'm protected, even when the one man who was supposed to value me and love me and see me did not give me that, pretended to me, lied to me, gaslighted me, made me feel guilty for feeling, made me feel like I'm not allowed to feel, made me feel guilty for just did not provide a space that a father should provide for a daughter. You know, if that one man in my life was supposed to give me that, did not give me that, it it affects, it does affect me. But trying to find words. And I just remembered this one time. Guys, I'm all over the place, but I'm really not trying to be perfect with the story. This is what it is. So this one time we from school, I had a friend, her father had just taken us from school. I think we were in grade 11, 10, 11, 12, somewhere there. And she had a very loving father, she grew up in a very safe space, a very protected place. Um, so we are standing outside a shop, and this guy pets her butt, right? Like we were sexually assaulted. And well, that is the reality of a lot of women here. I doubt you'd ever find a woman or a girl who hasn't been sexually assaulted in one way or the other, not even once. So this guy just comes and pets her butt, and then pets mine. And she looks at me like, what just happened? And shame, she was so affected. So affected. Like she was affected. And now, because even the one man who was supposed to love me and protect me and guard me and value me did not do that, I really didn't. I had given up on me, on seeing me and valuing me and seeing my worth. This guy would build me up, like would trap me so hard I would bleed. I once bled. Yeah, like bruises for days, like scars for days. You know, I remember this one time he bit me. So I think I was in grade 7. I was a child, or grade 6. He literally bit me so bad, I literally bled. Yeah, so all of those things, just all of that. Yeah, but anyway, those things have really affected me. But God says everything different about me, and I have a value, I have a worth, I have a protection, I have a love, I have a safety that I had um, before I was born by a certain person, before the spirit being of mine was born in a certain family by a certain somebody, and nothing can take that away from me. Yeah. Everything that I am is God. The love I have for myself is God. The way my life has been threatened so much, the way my safety has been threatened, the way I've experienced things that were just so unnecessary. I've escaped so much. I've survived so much. I've escaped so much. I've survived. And I am saying, I have joy. I know that will come what may. Come what may, I will survive. And I'm protected and I'm guarded, and that is where my confidence comes from. I have nothing without God. I am nothing without God. I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be alive to tell this story. The past, guys, God keeps coming through for me. And He is the father I never had. He's the father I've always had, actually, but like physically, is the father I didn't have. And when I'm scared to speak, He's my strength. When I feel threatened and I have a mission or I have a purpose to fulfill, and that requires me to be brave and bold and speak what I lack, He is so full of. When I am scared, He comforts me and assures me that He has my back. When my safety is physically threatened, for reasons that I'll never understand. Guys, I've survived kidnappings, I've survived guns, I've survived, I've freaking survived. And it's all God. I've accomplished so much. I've established myself way beyond what my background allows me. I'm a beautiful human being. I'm a beautiful, beautiful human being with a beautiful life. And I always say to my friends that grace does not come through only when we say we have sinned or we are sinners. Grace comes through when the facts of our lives and the reality of our lives does not allow us to be what we are, or to have what we have. Factually, doesn't make sense that I'm this person, in this place, right here, doing what I do, achieving what I achieve, with excellence even. It doesn't make sense that I'm breathing in this moment after so much. It doesn't make sense that I'm sane mentally, that I'm healthy mentally. It doesn't. But it's a story that I'll definitely continue to unfold and continue to tell without any fear. Because I'm protected and I'm guarded. Guys, y'all don't get it. Like, I've survived. Beyond surviving, I live. I don't live in fear now. I don't serve the God of Abraham or the God of Joseph, or I serve the God of me. I look at my mother and I look at this video didn't go the way that I thought it would go. It really didn't. But that's like really, really long. And I didn't think I'd be crying and all of that. But I look at my mother. I look at our life. I look at the 360 turn. I've seen her Iraq. And it all shouts God. It can only be God. So that is where I draw my confidence from. Being in such a violent space has affected me so much. Has affected my confidence in harsh ways. But I am here, and I am who I am, and I do the things that I do, and I'm a beautiful human, and graciously covered, and I'm protected, and I'm safe, and I'm guarded. And I have the confidence to be, the confidence to feel, the confidence to speak, the confidence to just be free and live without fear. The confidence to stand up against things that oppress me. The confidence to have a voice. And that confidence, that self-confidence comes from my confidence, which is God. Just, I know that I can rely and depend on God. And all that I am and everything that I am, everything that I have, comes from God. Yeah. I hope this has I hope you receive my offering. Thank you so much for journeying with me. I guess till we do something again. Yeah, bye guys.